Last week, I launched season 3 of my podcast, Deep Pockets, which is also syndicated here on this YouTube channel. This season is themed a book club. Each week, I bring a new nonfiction author who writes in the intersection of government and innovation. Dan Roche's book, The Total Beginner's Handbook for Doing Business with the Government, a plain language, easy to understand, and mildly entertaining guide to a complicated and often misunderstood business, delivers exactly what it promises. For emerging technologies, a government agency is often the first paying customer. So if you're developing a groundbreaking new technology, how to find the right agency, how to approach them, how to negotiate, how to deliver, how to charge for your work. I don't know if it's just my personal growth from the startup world into the deep tech world, but I have a feeling that the Silicon Valley VC risk investment model is beginning to be a little bit outdated, maybe. Ouch. Sorry, Silicon Valley guys. I can see so many other funding models that are faster and easier to get and don't require so much pitching effort. Small business loans, grants, open calls, corporate investors, public-private partnerships. These are all ways for a startup or a spin-off to create first iterations of their product and discover R&D partners at the same time. For example, if you join the National Science Foundation's many projects or programs, you're joining a group of people who are trying to solve a similar problem that you are trying to solve. So not only are you potentially receiving an award or a grant, but you can split your work with a fellow entrepreneur and save in those valuable R&D hours. Similarly, joining Amazon, Google, Microsoft, or any other corporate startup program can bring those advantages. As Dan Roche says in my podcast, and I'm going to leave the link below, just like any other investor, the government agencies want to avoid risk. This is especially true in emerging technologies where there's no clear private industry yet. Think of quantum right now or space technology 10, 20 years ago. One way to mitigate this risk is to source technologies from a wider group of smaller providers. And this has opened up government as a viable source of funding for early stage emerging technology companies. Just think of the CHIPS and Science Act together with the Inflation Reduction Act. Together for 2024, they include $210 billion for federal R&D, which is a $9 billion increase from 2023, including $18 billion for R&D in key agencies, which are the Department of Energy, the National Science Foundation, and the National Institute of Standards and Technologies, NIST, under Department of Commerce. And this money is already flowing into states to fund science and innovation. One great example is my former home state, Colorado, which secured an EDA-funded regional technology and innovation hub, a tech hub for developing quantum technologies in the state. And the local consortium, Elevate Quantum, already has over 70 startups, research labs, and scientific institutions. What about Europe? The European Union's main public R&D funding program, Horizon Europe, has a budget of over $105 billion, over 95 billion euros. And it's only this kind of money that can fund deep science, deep tech, and those emerging technologies, which, by the way, is why I named my podcast Deep Pockets, Deep Science, Deep Tech, Deep Pockets. So go out and find these programs. Don't waste years standing in line for VC pitching competitions like I did, only to be rejected again and again. And then possibly maybe if you are lucky, you get an investment and then you're controlled by a handful of investors who never worked in your field, don't have relevant customer experience or customer contacts, and lack the patience that the deep pockets offer.